This is To the Front. Tools for today's top agents.
Welcome back to episode number 41 of To the Front. 41 episodes deep of tools that we hope can lead your business, your family, your agency to the front. But I got a question. What does it really mean to move to the front? Now, when I say that, you probably think, oh, that's sales and money and profitability, and you're not wrong. But what if moving to the front had less to do about money and more to do about impact? Like, what if your business started to focus on the impact that you have on people? Let that be the number one thing that you think about, and then success and money and the other stuff just kind of comes as a byproduct, right? And I've been reading a book recently called Unreasonable Hospitality. It's an old book, but maybe you've read it. It's by a guy who turned a restaurant around in New York City called 11 Madison Park. Incredible book. I have all of my teams read it. But it talks about leaning into the things that really create an amazing experience for your customers, that actually create long-lasting impact beyond what you're selling. And so today's guest, I'm so excited to talk about, man, the art of being a good neighbor. And I cannot think of any better guest to bring on than my friends Matt and Brittany McCoy from Good Neighbor Coffee Company. Brittany and Matt, welcome, guys. We're so glad you're on.
Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be here.
Absolutely. Yeah, really. This is awesome. I love your podcast topics. I think this is awesome.
Oh man, I'm so grateful for you guys. You guys are busy entrepreneurs in multiple ways. And so to get a few minutes with you, I'm grateful. I'm honored, right? And so if you're listening to this podcast, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcast, you're watching it on YouTube, one thing you need to know is that I only bring on guests that I think can bring great value to your team, to your family, to you personally. Nobody pays us to be on the podcast. We don't pay anybody to be on the podcast, right? Because we want it to be really, truly the best things for your agency, for your business. And today, Brittany, Matt, I think your company, Good Neighbor Coffee Company, really not only exemplifies what it means to be a good neighbor, but man, it's just a great tool for agencies, business owners to use. So I want to get into that in just a second. But I tell you what, first introduce us. I know Matt and Brittany, you guys are both captive insurance agents. And then back, was it in 2022, started Good Neighbor Coffee Company. And I got to tell y'all, literally, it's the best coffee I've ever had in my life. In fact, my wife and daughter just came back from Italy, being over there 8 months. I had your beans in my Jura, and she ran it. She goes, "This is the best coffee I've ever had in my life."
Wow. Thank you.
And from my wife, she does not give out compliments easily. Believe me, I know. All right. And so your coffee is unbelievable. It's outstanding, but the mission behind it's even better. So, welcome. Hey, let's get started. Can you guys just tell us a little more about yourselves to our listeners? You guys are based in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But tell us more about you guys, your family, maybe your agencies, but then even about how Good Neighbor Coffee Company kind of came about.
Sure. Well, Adam, thank you. And we are Matt and Brittany McCoy. We have two State Farm agencies here in the Tulsa, Oklahoma metro area. And I'm a second generation State Farm agent. My wife is third generation. Her dad and grandfather were agents. Her dad still is down in El Paso. And we're both former Division I college athletes. Little bit competitive in our house. And we've been running our agencies for, I'm almost 18, 19, close to 20 years. Britt's 15, 16 years. And we've got two little kids. We've got our daughter, who is going to be in fourth grade, and then our son's going to be a first grader this fall. So it's not that we don't have much going on, and we decided we were going to launch a coffee company on top of all.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also have my wife has started a ministry, works primarily with a lot of high achieving, strong business owners, but that want to bring their faith to a new to a new level. And sometimes there's a lot of stereotypes that get put
Sure.
fairly or unfairly on women that are in the marketplace, but also want to be great moms, but also want their faith to be their number one priority. And so
Sure.
Britt
Yeah.
does an amazing job with so many women across the country from coast to coast in that realm. And so yeah, I coach Little League sports and we sell coffee on the side. So
So not busy at all.
No.
not busy at all. No.
Not busy at all. Yeah, and Brittany, I love that because there is sort of this, not to say stigma, but sort of expectation that if you're going to be great in business, you're not going to be great at home.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be a great lover of people because you have to sacrifice one for another. But it sounds like your other organization is helping women to understand that you truly can
Yes.
do all those things well.
Absolutely. Yes. We've been working for about 6 years now on these really unique events, gathering all over the United States and just bringing in some revelation knowledge for them to know who they are, their identity in Christ. And then from there, being able to operate in their calling and breaking limitations. A lot of times we go and, just do all those things. But absolutely, it's been a journey. And I'm so thankful for his support. And we actually do once a year, men and women. So that's really great to see the married couples coming together. And, Good Neighbor actually started. We just launched in October, believe it or not. So we haven't
really?
even
Wow.
hit a year yet. But it did start prior to that with wanting to solve a problem. And problem was retention in our agencies. We had seen a spike. And we felt like, growing up, third and second generation, I mean, I'm in diapers in my grandfather's office. This has been my whole life. There was always just that connection, that community, the familial, just being that good neighbor, receiving phone calls, showing up. And I felt like we had lost a little bit of connection. So we got inspired at a meeting that we were at. And on the way home, just really started to discuss it, seek the Lord and say, man, what could we do that could help us get back?
Kind of connection, reconnect.
Yeah. Showing our customers that we care.
Yeah.
And this is how it came about, was creating coffee when there was a new client and saying, man, rather than just giving them an ID card and say, yeah, thanks, it was, here's a bag of coffee. Coffee is the second most drank liquid in the world. There's just something about coffee that brings connection. This is why every church has a coffee shop, because there's just something about it. And, think about like what you always say, like when you want to catch up with a friend or someone you haven't seen, or you want to have a business or even an interview, you're like, hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It creates intimacy. So we love coffee.
Yeah.
And, people love coffee. And it would be more than just one and done, a keychain they throw in their, drawer. It would be something like your wife comes home, makes a cup of coffee. You get to have that experience and you think of us during that. So we thought that was really relevant. And the thing about the Lord is he brought us infrared roasted coffee. It was good for us. So it doesn't have the mold. It doesn't have a lot of the toxins or the acids that can be affecting our body. So we were just thrilled to find infrared roasted coffee, which sets us apart. Only 1% to 2% of the world's beans are roasted this way. And we are just very excited about it. That's what makes it very smooth. So,
and I think the big thing that kind of hit home was, as Brittany and I had been at this meeting and we're driving home and we're having this conversation about what should we do? There's got to be something out there. That evening is when I had a dream. And in that dream, I hear 4 words: Good Neighbor Coffee Company. That's all I heard in the dream. And I remember just waking up and thinking, that's it. This is what we're going to do.
Incredible.
And then it was a journey from there, meeting with roasters and meeting
Yeah.
with marketing and websites and artists and all the things that go along with launching a new business. So that's kind of the origin. But then we kind of then took it a step deeper. The whole company is founded on the scripture, Matthew 22:39, to love your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah.
And as we step back, there are so many businesses, and we started realizing, yeah, we're State Farm agents, and yeah, we can sell to State Farm agents. They can give to their customers. But you know what? Every business is in the same boat.
Right.
We all have new customers that come in. We want to welcome them. We want to create some sort of onboarding process. We have I don't care what you want to thank them. They buy another product. You want to thank them. We're all in the same boat. And so we want to show that same level of love and to love your neighbor. And no better way than to just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Here's more than just your paperwork.
That's right. And it doesn't hurt that the coffee, again, I think it's maybe the infrared beans. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm actually drinking Good Neighbor coffee right now.
Awesome.
Right. This is the last of my batch. I'm going to have to reorder, guys. I think it's butter pecan.
Yeah. Or you had the Good Neighbor blend. That's the butterscotch.
Butterscotch. Yeah.
Butterscotch. Yeah.
Hazelnut butterscotch. Yep.
It's so good. Well, because you all set it up at Coach P event. We were right next door, and I probably cost you $1,000 in coffee over 2 days. It was so good. It was so good.
Wiped all our samples out.
Yeah,
Can we get some more Good Neighbor? Can we sample some more good? I have to go talk to Adam next to the booth next door. He's got it.
Well, no, I was talking with TJ on our business development executive, and I said, dude, we have the best booth because we're next to the coffee stand. It was fantastic. But I want to point something out because I think you guys alluded to something that was really important about being good to people, being a good neighbor. And I want to tell you something. If we take away, which I think the most important aspect, obviously, is the spiritual aspect about being a good neighbor. In fact, we're all people of faith here, and I believe that what Scripture says is the only thing that counts is faith expressing itself through love, right? And then people would go to Jesus and say, "Hey, I fulfilled all the commands, right?" But he said, "But if you really want to be like me, if you have everything fulfilled in one, you love your neighbor and you will fulfill all the other stuff that I told you to fulfill." And if you think about it, that's true. If you being a good neighbor to people is not lying. Being a good neighbor to people is not coveting. Being a good neighbor to people is to put others before yourself, right? So I love the name, I love the mission, and I want to talk about really quick the business aspect if I can.
Okay.
Because if you are specifically a insurance agent, you are, I'm going to say you are a commodity. I don't think people are commodities, but what you're selling, people can get at a lot of places, a ton of places, right? So the question is, what makes you stand out and what makes people stick more than others, right? Because everybody knows in insurance, they're shoppers, right? They're going to go shop you every year. They don't care if you say, yeah, you're going to save, you bundle, you're going to save, which is all true, right? But they've been, and there's promotions and commercials that run out. Like, you should be shopping your insurance. You should be changing it all the time, right? And so this is going on in the minds of your people. So the question is, how do you get people to really stay? Because you've heard the old saying, if you win them on price, you're going to lose them on price. That's very true. So what makes them stay? Now, this has been so true, guys. It's so funny about the State Farm agency. Like, we've got 5 owners of State Farm, of Front Runner. 4 of them are agents, and then there's me. All right, I feel like I could be a pretty good team member by this point. If I ever get fired, I might come up to Tulsa and work for y'all. But
yeah,
it's funny. Two of the partners have offices where nobody ever walks in their building. No, like, they never see anybody ever. The other 2 have like Main Street State Farm agencies where it's like Grand Central Station. People walk in all the time to actually come pay their bill. And it's so funny when we're in our partner meetings, they're like, yeah, my service team is so busy because they're dealing with walk-ins. And the other guys are like, dude, we haven't had anybody walk in 5 years.
wow.
Right. We won by 5 years. So the world is changing, right? The world of how you deal with your customers is changing. But how do you latch on to the timeless principles of being good to people? of being a good neighbor. And I will tell you, my buddy Jason's my agent, not just because he's not my agent just because he's my buddy, because actually his dad was my agent and then he took over. And so by default, he became my agent. But the reality is shopping never crosses my mind. I never think about shopping my interests. Why? Because his people are good to me.
Yes.
So talk about that for a minute. Why do you think that some agencies do a really good job about keeping people and the other ones have such a huge lapse can? And so talk a little bit about maybe in your agencies, even beyond the coffee, what it means to really get somebody to stick, right? And it's probably about being a good neighbor. So how does that sort of play out through your teams? How are you guys a good neighbor to your customers, even beyond the coffee?
You know, it just yesterday, I guess day before yesterday, I got home, I checked the mail. As I come in, I've got the mail in my hand and my phone's in my hand. Yesterday, I had a letter from Liberty Mutual, they direct mail. They had sent me to quote my car insurance. I'm on my phone trying to respond back to one of my team members, and I get this spam message from this Geico, direct Geico writer.
Right.
And then later on in the evening, I'm on ESPN and this Progressive ad pops up. I've been 3 different insurance companies within about a 1 hour time span had come into my face, and then talking with my own office. There was 4 different insurance companies all at the same time vying for my attention. So to your point, you have to be something different. Now, what does something different mean? You the days of you got to answer. Yeah, you got to do all the little things right. I mean, that's answering the phone. You've got to be able to return emails. You've got to be able to do all of those things right. Those have kind of been the non-negotiables. Those things have to be done right.
Correct.
What we believe, though, is two aspects to it, and I'll talk to the coffee side of it first. When you have coffee, you have coffee and it sits on your kitchen counter for a bag of coffee will sit there for 2 weeks. Every time you grab it in the morning, you're grabbing it and you're thinking wherever that bag of coffee came from. If you got it when you were in Arkansas on a vacation, if you got it wherever it was, you're now reminiscing on that moment, that place. And as you're drinking it, you're thinking, oh yeah, this was that coffee that we got on our trip in California. Oh, this was that coffee we got over in Arkansas. Oh, this is that coffee we got from our State Farm agent. So there is an additional drip that goes into your head for 2 weeks while you've got that bag of coffee there. And you hear all of these studies say it might be a direct mail. It might be a banner ad somebody sees. It might be a radio ad, but you hit these people in multiple ways and it just starts becoming cemented in their head of, oh yeah, that's my State Farm guy. That's my State Farm agent. That's my State Farm. Oh, this is that coffee for my State Farm agent. So that's the coffee angle that I feel there's that subliminal drip that happens for 2 weeks while that bag sits on your counter. It's reminding of the people who just took care of you. The second aspect is when sorry about that.
Great.
When it comes to beyond just the bag of coffee, is our team now is out marketing with our coffee. So they're going into apartment complexes, they're going into car dealerships, they're going into mortgage offices, and are marketing and utilizing good neighbor from a sphere of influence that's going to be referring business into us. So not only is it going to a current customer, but now we've figured out a way. And so when you have those people referring business into you, that's another aspect that I think sometimes people forget, that marketing with a tangible product that is unique, not a pen and paper, not a donut, not a keychain, but something that will stay in front of them for 2 weeks and they kind of keep wanting it. We're all addicted to coffee.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think beyond coffee, it's about your integrity to care for people. You know, it's biblical that you will reap what you sow.
Right.
And you sow the care and just the resolution orientation of like, we're going to solve a problem, whatever's in our control, taking care of that, honoring our word and showing up for the community. You know, we have these plans, we have this huge parking lot and we're going to, you know, give out coffee and just, you know, bring a smile to somebody or, you know, encourage someone. And the main thing we really, really focus, I think, specifically in our agency is the claims process. You know, we have a claims concierge that worked at corporate and she's been phenomenal. And I mean, she literally walks you through when that happens. That is, I mean, growing up, I remember too, when my dad would get the calls and there was a house fire and there was a flood or there was a death. And I mean, those are the moments where we have to show up.
Yeah.
And so I think it goes beyond that. We can have a nice, you know, bag of coffee on their counter. And if we're not there for them, then it nullifies the point. So I think it goes hand in hand. It's just that when you have an agency that's growing, that's large, that you cannot stay connected to every single client, which is a good thing to have.
That's
You've
a good
got
problem.
to throw a lifeline, a connection point, something that makes them feel, wow. It's a gift of hospitality, really, because we are a corporate gifting company. We can even create your own branded coffee so that
Yeah.
it's more branding and it's just really an extension of the gratitude. This is a gift of gratitude. As an agent, I want to tell you at Christmas, I am so grateful for you. You have been loyal here. This has changed my family. And I want to say thank you. And I want to bless you during this season, you know, or it's a birthday or a big thing that happens or a horrible thing. And I'm sorry, gift, like we really messed up. We dropped the ball. Here is something to mend the relationship here.
Exactly.
And so it's just a tool that we've been able to use. You know, are very powerful. They, you know, it's even biblical that a gift will make room for you. It melts the walls, hard
Yeah.
hearts. It overturns wrath.
Yeah.
Gifts are very powerful. So yeah, that's a little bit of, I say, how we think about things.
Yeah, gosh, that's so good. You guys are talking. The whole I'm thinking is that good neighbor coffee company or an agency or business that adopts coffee. It's actually more than just a gift. It's actually a way that kind of reminds your team of how we do business.
Mhm.
It is.
How we do business is we put people ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
Is that we go the extra mile, right? And we're going to take our minds a little bit off of profitability and start putting the person first. And then the other stuff kind of comes, right? So if you're an agent, you're listening to this podcast right now and you're like, Adam, I'm doing all the things. I've got the coaches. I'm doing all you just heard Matt say, good, you have to do those things well. You have to. But maybe the reason why you're not breaking through the wall or maybe your lapse can's high or whatever is that still in the midst of doing all the right things, people still feel sort of like a commodity.
Yeah.
They still feel like you just, you know, I got insurance from them. I don't really know them. I don't think they really know me. But when you're a good neighbor and you have a great gift like coffee, right? That I love it. When you said it sits on you, it's a reminder of the experience that I had with them. That tends to stick with them, right?
Mhm.
Back when I was a pastor, I had before. It's funny when you go to seminary, right? You have preaching classes, which is hilarious, right? Because you really don't learn it until you get into the pulpit and do it. And there's a whole other anointing stuff that I think has to happen too.
We went through a State Farm training and we didn't really do it until you get in your desk.
Yeah.
Get in your desk, right?
Yeah.
But I had one professor in seminary and he said this. He says, Adam, people will forget what you say, probably by the time lunch is over, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
Right.
And so if you think about that in your agency, people will probably forget what their insurance rate was until it's time to pay their bill or all the little things that you told them in the call or the conversation or whatever, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Appreciated, special, thought about, followed up with. You like Brittany, what you said, you show up when there's the fire, there's the death. People will not forget about how you make them feel. Mm-hmm. And in a world that is leaning into what I would say less human connection, right? Especially with automated intelligence and all the different things, right? I think that businesses that truly win in the next 10 or 15 years will still figure out how to have an incredible human connection. Even if they're using AI in their business or whatever, it's fine, right? But how do I still have a great human connection? You talked about how do I make them have a feeling? That's what the book Unreasonable Hospitality is all about. And that makes you go to the front. You agree?
Yeah, yesterday, Adam, I was in the office and my team members typically run a lot of our review appointments. I will do some, but typically I've got a couple of team members that they handle those review appointments. But usually there's kind of a rule. They will buzz me and let me know, hey, Mrs. Jones is coming in. And yesterday we had a lady, Maria. She's been a customer of ours for a long time. Sweet, sweet lady.
Yeah.
She was in, they was doing the review. And I just popped in during the review and came in. I was like, Maria, so good to see you. How have you been? Great to see you. Hey, I just wanted to give you a bag of coffee of Good Neighbor Coffee. And she just looked at me and she was like, Matt, it's so good to see you. And she was like, thank you. And I think it's one of those where we can leverage our team and utilize that moment where you can make someone feel special by just coming in and saying, it's simple. It's not hard. But hey, I was thinking about you, Maria. I just wanted you to have a cup of coffee. You been doing okay? This is on us. And so I just saw it yesterday again, and it just really reinforced, hey, relationship, connect with folks and build and connect.
Which is one of the most powerful capital that you can have is relationship.
Yeah.
And so I think this company helps you reinforce relationship. It retains it, and it can create new ones because they're going to be impressed with having good coffee versus, oh, thanks for the donut, and then it's gone. You know,
the gift card that you throw in your.
It's just a unique thing, and really, it's a sonship principle because we can't love our neighbor if we don't love ourselves. Well, how do we love ourselves? Well, we have to receive the love of the Father, and then we're allowed to love ourselves and then love our neighbors. Right. This is the sonship piece because when we built our agencies without this knowledge, we built them as orphans. We built them as competitive, type A, overachiever, get all the trophies. We treated our team like, not very like biblical until we had the revelation during COVID. Wow. We were the only two agencies that did not close. We stayed open. We fed our community. We showed up and gave toilet paper, water, hugs, prayers. We were there for people when crisis happened. And it shifted everything for us that we are supposed to be a lighthouse. Well, how can we do that if we don't know who we are? And we really shifted into surrendering our ways and our ideas and the way we wanted to do it, especially thinking we're third and second generation. We know everything, which we were clearly not. And once we surrendered, the Lord really showed us a blueprint, how to build business, how to build an altar to the Lord. And you talked about at the very beginning, impact versus income. And my encouragement to anyone listening to this is that if you want more income, increase your impact.
That's right.
Think about the impact that you want to make and the funds will follow.
Right.
And that's what finally got in alignment for us. And that's why I think we're here today is we realized, wow, this really is about serving others.
Yeah.
And this is just a way that we can, because I think the world is get new sales. No one was talking about how do we maintain the people that are with us.
Right.
So just wanted to share that.
Go, bro.
I mean, that's powerful. I don't know if there's any better advice for your business, for any business, is, this old principle. It's cheaper to keep a customer than it is to go get a new one. Right. Sure. But that's still kind of a commodity statement there because you're talking about money. What we're talking about is impact. Is impact. Right? At the end of every episode, if you've been a listener, by the way, of To the Front, you know that I end every episode by saying this: go lead your business with courage. I say, go lead it for something more that will outlast even you. And do you know what I mean by that? Well, money's not going to outlast you. Stuff's not going to outlast you, right? You know what's going to outlast you is impact. It's impact. It's going to be the ripples, so to speak, of your life. And so if you're going to leave something that outlasts even you, It's about how you make people feel. It's about how you encourage people. It's about how you were there for someone in the moment when they needed it. In fact, at all my business, I'm like you guys. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I obviously run front and own part of Front Runner. I've got a couple print shops here in the Kentucky area. I've got an ice cream shop and another apparel business to musicians. Just crazy. I don't know why I do it all. People say, "Wow, you're really busy." I said, "Yeah, but it's not all successful." But I will tell you though that we are pretty good at one thing. We are pretty good about keeping staff. And that's because all of my managers and department leads, we all have the same mantra. And the mantra is this, is that if we're a good washer of feet, if we're a good servant of people, then the people that you're serving will take care of you and your customers, right? So being a good neighbor is not just to your customers.
Right.
It's about to your own team, right? And you all said that as well just a minute ago. It's about, how do I become a really great servant of my team? How to be a good neighbor to my team? And if that's all I focus on, then guess what? Your team's going to take care of your customers, and your team is going to take care of your growth. Right. But it's funny with running Front Runner, I have an inside look into agents, and part of it is their team members. And I'll go, look at their team members, and they've churned through like 40 team members in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm just like, and my heart breaks. Now, again, that's not all the agent's fault. Sometimes there's just things out of their control, but 40 is a lot. All right. 40 is a lot. And I will say, if you've been through 40 team members in 2 years, unless you're just a massive agency, it may be an opportunity to step back and to say, okay, how do I get my team members to stick? Well, you be a good neighbor to them. Mm-hmm. And like I had a girl sit in my office, one of my staff members at the print shop. And one of the questions I ask all my team when they start here, and then even in the reviews, and I say this: if time, money, and talent were of no issue, what would you do? That's what I ask them. Mm-hmm. Time, money, talent. They're like, what do you mean? I said, if you had all the time in the world, all the money in the world, and no limit on your talent, what would you do with your life? And I'll say, you're probably not going to be working at this print shop. Okay. I can guarantee you that. And then they tell me, they're like, oh, I want to be an artist. Or this one girl who was just sitting with me, she goes, oh, well, I want to illustrate comic books. And I said, okay, that's the goal. She said, what do you mean? I said, the goal of your employment here is to figure out how to propel you to the next thing.
Wow.
And she was like, wait, that means you want to lose me?
It's a great question.
Wow.
She says, you want to lose me? I said, no. I said, I want to propel you. I said, we are a launching pad for you to whatever's next. And I said, on your first day, I'm thinking about what's next. It's my job as the leader to equip you, empower you, encourage you to go after that which God has put in your heart. And we're going to use this stay at Minuteman Press to achieve that, right? So all of my department leads do that exact same exercise with our team. And so our team knows that we are more for you than we are for what you can do for us.
Wow.
You do
this
that.
Is very powerful.
You do that with your team, they'll stay with you forever, right? And I will tell you, we've actually been able to do that. The first ever staff member at Front Runner, his name is Tyrell. Great guy. First ever, he was a wild man, all right? But really good at his job, but he just wanted to be a video editor. That's all. He just wanted to produce and edit videos. And so we figured out a way halfway through for him to be a video editor within Front Runner. And so he started editing some of our videos. And then all of a sudden, he was starting to build his own brand. And so we were able to bless him on the way out.
Wow.
Of that. And so I still, Tyrell, we have this little bike path and outside of our neighborhood, and he still skateboards through it. And so every time we stop and see him and talk to him, bless him, pray for him on the way. So I think being a good neighbor is saying, how do I propel you to the next thing? Yes. Which is a crazy mindset. The mindset they just is business owners, right? Is to like, I got to keep my people.
Yes.
But what if you want to propel them?
Flip that.
It's discipleship.
It's discipleship.
Train them, equip them, and then send them.
That's right. That's right. So I think that's why we get along, guys. That's how you're.
Well, one real quick point, because you brought up something that we didn't talk about, but that was a pain point we wanted to solve. We have about 13 staff. who
Wow.
loves coffee. We kept getting that message. We're out of coffee. We're out of coffee.
Oh.
And we're like, oh my gosh. So part of this concept, we created an agent box, and it's with a 5-pound bag for your team. Have them
Yeah.
drinking good, clean coffee. And we bought this really fancy coffee machine from Germany. And
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, they connect back there. They're taking
Wow.
their coffee.
Taking
It-
espresso shots, like
Yeah.
Really, it has been a really amazing work perk. So that is exactly what,
and it's mailed out every month, so I don't have to get the text message of we're out of coffee, go to Sam's or Costco.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good neighbor
And,
mails it to you.
Yeah.
And also, I want to let anyone listening, I create custom gifts for your staff, because I'm sitting there last, when we were thinking about, gosh, what do I give the team? We have a Christmas party. What do I give them? And now our company can help create anything for you to kind of, take that off your list. So anyways, just wanted to share that. And man,
Absolutely.
it's awesome.
Well, and that's where I wanted to go with the conference. I know that we're getting close to our time with you guys. I know you guys have other things you have to move on to, but I want to turn the conversation more towards how people can engage Good Neighbor Coffee Company, right? So you said you had the custom gifts, but tell us now what's the best first step for people to be able to engage Good Neighbor Coffee Company? Because I will tell you, I know TJ on our team has been engaging you guys about how do we partner with you to send every one of our new subscribers coffee, and don't quite know where we're at with that, but I know, TJ's working on that because it's the coffee's incredible, right? And we want to align with excellence. And so, but yeah, tell businesses, agencies, how do they get started with you guys?
Sure.
What are the different services on your website? You've got some package kinds of things. Maybe tell us about that. And then obviously about the custom gifts too. So tell us about how they can engage with you all.
So I think if we stay in the State Farm vein first, we have created what we call an agent box. And so within that agent box, there's as big or as small as you want them to go. Kind of the one that most people kind of land with is a 5-pound bag of coffee that your staff can drink all month long. It can come whole bean or ground. And then we send out these really cool smaller bags that we can we've created a way where you can put your business card on the bag. So now you're giving a Good Neighbor coffee bag, but it's branding you. It's not branding Chick-fil-A. It's not branding anybody else. So you can get as little as 10 of them, or you can go, hey, I want 30 of these. So kind of anywhere in between. And then we send that out to you every month. That's kind of in the State Farm agent vein. The second aspect on the State Farm side of it is the Thanksgiving or Christmas. Hey, I want to send out something to my top 100 clients, my top 50 clients. We will get our branded bags here, and we will get those sent directly out. Hey, I just want to, and we'll put a handwritten thank you note in there from Agent Bob. Directly to them at Thanksgiving or Christmas. And then kind of outside of the State Farm vein is the just normal businesses out there. We can create your own kind of bag with your own company on it. And you can use that. We've got car dealerships. We've got heat and air companies that utilizes. So we can do that as well.
This is an example of a custom coffee tin.
Oh,
We have
that's cool.
big artists. This was our Route 66. We're on Route 66, so their 100-year anniversary. So we made these custom tins.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then these are our agent bags that come out to you that you can brand, with your business card on there.
So that's what they would give one of their customers.
That's what they would give out to their customer, or they would take to apartment complexes, something like that. Yep.
Wow. So it's not a one size has to fit all. You'll work with the customer to come up with a solution.
Yes.
To
Correct.
help their marketing efforts, their gratitude efforts, whatever it is.
Yep. Absolutely.
Wow. So how do they get started?
So they can go to our website, goodneighborcoffee.com. And on the website is got kind of our different product selections, or they can come and on our website is my phone number. So at the end of the day, you can call us, or it's kind of, we'll have one of our team members that can help you fulfill that order. But if you just want to call me and talk, hey, Matt, talk me through this. Hey, I'm a normal State Farm agent out there, just like everybody else, nothing fancy. I can walk you through, what the practicality of it looks like, but our website has all the details on it as well.
Yeah. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can clearly see it. It's goodneighborcoffee.com. If you're listening to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, it's just goodneighborcoffee.com. You go check. I'm sure, and you can probably type it into a Google search or throw it into Chat GPT, and they're going to give you the link to that.
Correct.
And on that contact, and by the way, your site's amazing. It's fantastic. It even lays out some of the different options right there. But I encourage you to engage them, right? Don't just go look and whatever. Like engage the Good Neighbor Coffee Company team, because with anything, they might have an idea of what you could do in your office to create atmospheres of hospitality and appreciation that might not be on the website. So I encourage you to buy from them, because, by the way, it's incredible. I know I've said it 4 or 5 times now. It's the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Ever. Now, do you guys have 4 flavors? How many flavors do you have?
Yeah, so we've got our 4 base flavor profile. We've got a Good Neighbor blend, which is kind of a butterscotch hazelnut. We have got our cinnamon. We have got our blueberry. We've got a light roast and a dark roast. And then we have an espresso bean.
And we're just launching Southern Pecan. So, we're very
Did you say that you're launching Southern Pecan?
Yes.
Yes, Southern Pecan. Probably going to be late summer, going into the fall type of.
Which is a perfect spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the Good Neighbor house blend that's got like the butterscotch
Yes.
type stuff, which my wife was like, "Oh my goodness, what is this?"
Yeah.
We just
It's
buy
hazelnut caramel and butterscotch blend. But it's all natural. It's not synthetic. We want to keep it very clean, good for our bodies. So
and you've got an Instagram. If you'd rather connect with them on Instagram, it's at Good Neighbor Coffee Company.
yes.
So just go to Instagram. You can probably just even search Good Neighbor Coffee Company. If you want to type it in, I don't think you can even type it in. I don't think you can do that. But anyway, go search on Instagram. It's at Good Neighbor Coffee Company. You'll be able to check that out as well.
Yes.
And
then reach out via email to me if you want to make custom gifts. I can help you with that. I can also just send you some samples if you want to try some stuff first. But there was an agent that gave us great feedback at one of the events, and she said, I want mini ones. So we created this mini. I don't know if it's hard to tell, but this is a 4-ounce, great for she's like, I just want to pop in, have some in my car, in my purse, the people I see. And so we created a mini one, and that came from great feedback. So please email me and we can custom create anything, even if you're wanting to create your own event. There was agents that have a little coffee cart, or they're sponsoring realtors and they want to offer coffee. So I'd love to collaborate with you. And also, if you are remote and you're like, I don't have people coming in, we have bubble mailers. You can slip this in the mail with ID cards, anything else that you're sending to them, and they can get that surprise on their doorstep. So
a bubble mailer is an envelope, just a padded envelope that
got it.
That'll come in your package with it, that you can stick the bags down in and mail them out to folks.
Cool. It's an awesome gift. Listen, and even for your office, I love how you use it in your office too, because I mean, dude, you can get coffee, you can get crappy coffee anywhere, right?
Yeah.
You can go get Folgers, Maxwell's. Please don't use those. Those create slaves. But that's another conversation for another day, right?
yes.
And you can go get Starbucks is fair trade and all stuff, but like it's just I believe that if you do every little thing with excellence, that stuff is returned, right? And this coffee is excellence. And it is actually very different than any cup of coffee I have had. So, and I'm going to tell you something that Frontrunner's going to do. I haven't told Matt and Brittany this, so you're going to hear it for the first time as well on this podcast, because we want people listening to this podcast. If you've made it this far, we're not going to announce it anywhere else. If you email my assistant, Jade at I'm a Frontrunner, or Adam, you can do Adam because she checks my email, Adam at I'mAFrontrunner.com. You give me your address and the flavor that you like the best. Frontrunner is going to buy you a package of that coffee from Good Neighbor Coffee Company and ship it right to your agency for free.
Great.
Right? Well, it's for free. We're buying it. We're paying Good Neighbor Coffee Company.
That's
they're going to ship it to
awesome.
you and because we want you to try it, right? So it's going to be a gift on Frontrunner, and it's a gift for you for making it through this podcast, because I believe this is a podcast not just about coffee. It's about how you treat people. And for me, that's worthy of money. So I don't care how many bags I send, All right.
Mm.
So email jade@imafrontrunner.com or adam@imafrontrunner.com. Give us your name, your agency or business name, because we don't have just agent, but businesses. Tell us what flavor you want. All right. We will order that from Good Neighbor Coffee Company and send it right to you for nothing. But what you have to do is you have to try it. When you love it, you need to reorder. That's the deal.
Awesome.
All
Okay,
right.
2 things I wanted to share really quick.
Let's do it.
This has been a game changer in our agency.
Yeah.
Treat it like your living room. When the customers come in, we say, "Would you like water? Be a good neighbor,
Yep.
or a cup of coffee?" There's so many people that have a cup of coffee and they just are like, they're coming in if they were upset or they're new, or they just have been a lifelong person that comes in to pay their payment every month. There's just something that shifts in the atmosphere when they are sitting with their coffee. Try it. Also, I wanted to share, Adam, that we are a kingdom business, meaning we are giving 10% of every piece of income that comes in. We're going to fund nonprofits, charities, people that are in alignment doing the Lord's work and funding exploits. So we're excited. We want to disrupt industries that have been using their income not for impact, but for wicked things. And so we're here to be bold and love, but shine bright and make sure we can,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
have some tools to war back.
Man, I love that. And that connects us because Frontrunner does the same thing. Frontrunner's got 4 organizations that are kingdom building, that are making it, and we give a check every single month to those agencies. And for one of them, it represents almost 30% of their monthly funding. And so boy, we're the same exact, and that's why I love bringing you guys on, because we're in the same vein, right? Is that
so cool.
If we're going to be successful, we got to have maximum impact. And that means you have to kind of give more. I know it's kind of cliche, but you got to give more than you receive. Yes. Because I'm a big believer. If your goal is to give, then God's going to keep sending you more to give away.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like you're going to have to point somebody, the full-time giver on your staff.
Yeah. Well, you can't outgive God. So
no, that you're going to want to give, right? So, and in fact, we've got somebody on our Frontrunner team that her job is getting ready to change from just sales to she's going to be sort of like the chief giver on our team. And figure out so she's going to spend half her time. How do we give back to our agents? How do we give to other people, organizations? So that is just saying, hey, how do we send it out? What's come in? And that's what Good Neighbor Coffee Company is all about. So Matt and Brittany, any other final words before we wrap up the podcast today?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
A final word.
Oh, a final word. I
Yeah.
just wanted to encourage you and say thank you to you, honor you, and bless you for standing in this place and just bringing us on and letting us get some visibility. And we appreciate you and anyone listening. Would love to connect. Please reach out to us, and God bless.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm thinking about, we average about 2,000 streams on Spotify. I'm like 3,000 times your coffee. I might be broke, but that'll
it'll come back to you.
It'll come back, Adam.
It'll come back.
That'll be where I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding about that. That is, our biggest audience is on Spotify. A couple hundred on YouTube and growing, but more on Spotify. But we're excited to get the word out about your coffee, about your company, about your mission, and about how you inspire agencies and businesses to be a good neighbor.
Yep.
And we just talked about all the benefit that comes from that. So Brittany and Matt, hang tight as I wrap up the episode. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Yeah. And so that's going to be it. Episode number 41 of To the Front. Powerful, wasn't it? I mean, just absolutely incredible that you heard it right from Matt and Brittany, man. You take care of other people, your business will be taken care of. Right. And whether you're a person of faith or not, right. Being good to people is never the wrong decision. So go check them out. That's Good Neighbor Coffee Company. Excuse me, goodneighborcoffee.com. On Instagram, it's Good Neighbor Coffee Company. Don't forget, you email me, adam@imafrontrunner.com. Tell me the flavor that resonated with you on this episode. Frontrunner's gonna buy you a bag and send it to your business. No strings attached. And until episode 42, I can't wait till that episode. We have a really good one planned for you. Go lead your agency with courage. Go lead it for something that will outlast even you. And until then, take care and see you next time.